Are you close to making a commitment? Don't lose the one for you because, number one, he or she doesn't live up to your fantasy-driven standards or expectations. Nobody's perfect, and we all need someone else to help us grow, improve our lives, push us, be there for us in ways we can't often be there for ourselves. There's a reason why we come together as only 50% of the equation and not 100%. Together we make 100%, not 150%. You get what I mean? Embrace that you still have work to do on yourself, and you won't let that desire for perfectionism stop you from falling in love and choosing someone. Choose someone, then keep working on yourself. That's how it's done. Next, number 2, somehow, no matter how good this person is for you and to you, you still think the grass is greener elsewhere and with someone else, and there's somebody better out there, and you just want to go after that other person. You don't want to give this current relationship a chance. Tip: there's always someone else out there that's better. Always. The thing to do is find someone who meets 80% of what you need and work on the remaining 20% together. In the time you'd spend searching again and again and again and again, climbing new mountains, you could have just improved the relationship you were in and made it into what you both wanted. Number 3, you don't think you're ready for the big step. Long-term committed relationship, and you just need a little more time to think about it all. Well, think fast. After a while, you'll be left alone to think some more about it, single and alone. Clearly, if you feel uncertain, do wait. Otherwise, the right person doesn't deserve to be benched or cookie jarred, right? And besides, the longer you wait, either that person's going to walk or no. Number 4, things are going so well that you either doubt yourself or think this is too good to be true. So you do something to sabotage your own successful love life. Accept your good fortune before you lose it or destroy it, and don't. Number 5, you can't shake the pain of a past breakup, so you lack confidence to invest in someone new, even though he or she is a breath of fresh air and could be so good for you. Everyone, including you or the other person, deserves another chance, always. Number 6, you're too consumed with being perfect for someone that you never let yourself get snatched up by someone who can really help complete you, to help become that ideal couple in love. Don't be too consumed with being that perfect person or being perfectly ready. Someone will take you right now, as is. Number 7, you've got cold feet. Brr. That's normal. Just warm those tootsies and take the plunge, provided you are confident it's time for you to take that loving plunge into someone's heart world. Number 8, you want someone to fix you and your problems to the extent that you push them away because that's your job to fix you or seek help, not theirs. The other person who comes into your life should only be responsible for adding to who you are, not bringing you up from zero to somebody. Besides, your job is to add to their life, not subtract from their time, money, or energy. Granted, love does see people through. If you love each other, perhaps you can work things out. But you know what I mean here. Number 9, commitment. It's scary for most people. Share your fears and feelings with that special someone in your love life and allow them to reassure you, hey, everything's going to be okay. So you can take that next step forward in your relationship. Number 10, you think you might be making a bad decision to commit or marry. Maybe it is. Maybe it's an illusion and you're now starting to see things more clearly. Kind of reminds me of my mother. She said to me when she was, I guess, getting married to my dad, that she kind of wishes that she saw the light sooner and ran. I mean, many years later, decades later, we can laugh about it. Back then, it's serious when you're at a relationship and you're like, I don't know if I really want to do this. You think you might be making a bad decision to commit or marry? Maybe it is. Maybe it's an illusion and you're now starting to see things more clearly. Weigh the pros and cons of staying or going and see what results you generate. Are your reasons for leaving or going ahead with this relationship valid? Usually, you're never as trapped as much as you think you are. That is, unless you go through it and 3 years later decide to end a marriage because you just aren't happy with the other person's behavior, treatment, or a lack of investment in your relationship now that you two got married. If things aren't going perfectly while you're dating and you see small signs with no change, bring them up, confront them face to face, and or make your decision to end the relationship before you get into more trouble down the line. In fact, I saw this with a friend of mine on the eve of his wedding day, which I was invited to. His soon-to-be wife got extremely drunk and loudly said, "Well, maybe we shouldn't even get married. Let's just call the whole thing off." Well, I escorted her to her car so she could go back to the hotel where her family was staying so she could take a nice warm bath, while my buddy, the groom, sat outside with the other guys at the outside table and said, "So, who wants to go to Vegas tonight?" Okay, isn't there a wedding tomorrow? 2 years later, he filed for divorce, moved on, and remarried a really great gal who he's madly in love with to this day. They've been married for like 4 years now. I see them on occasion when I visit them. 2 peas in a pod. Couldn't be happier. Whatever you do, just don't push a good person out of your life without really taking a hard look at you, the other person, your future, and your past. Do you have patterns for judging people too harshly? Do you struggle with accepting help from people or love into your life? Do you sabotage good things that happen to you? Do you compare yourself unfairly with your family, friends, their relationships? Be mindful, but don't let your mind take total control over what your heart says is an absolute good thing for you, the other person, and your futures together. The one for you is someone who teaches us about ourselves, who pushes us, who provides ample opportunity for us to test love, patience, kindness, and more. So first, let's agree that love isn't perfect. Of course, you're going to hug and hold the one for you when the going gets tough, but there will be times when what is really needed is silence, no advice, no judgment, just peace and quiet. When you think that you can't love the other person more than you already have, find ways to enrich what you have to bring you closer together if that's possible. When your honey asks to do something without you, understand that everyone needs personal space, time to reflect, a break from the routine. What do they say about absence in the heart? It makes it grow fonder. Let them go and spend some time alone or be by themselves. I'm going to really miss you when you're gone. Can't wait for you to come back. Ideally, the one for you helps to make you a better person, which is accomplished by being kinder and more generous to the core, more supportive, and more accepting. Your goal to be the best significant other that you can be should be unconditional and without limits. You strive to be a better person because the one you're with inspires you. By setting the example of what you want in a relationship, you make it easy for your honey to love you more. If you aren't sure how to do that, why not make a list of how the other person can make your relationship better and how you can become each other's better half, and then have a discussion about your wishes. I'm sure you can think of a few creative ways to reward the other person for playing along. And, isn't that the truth? When you're working on a business, or you're working on your schoolwork, or you're working on a project, you work on it. You work on it so it becomes better, more productive, more complete, more profitable, better, more positive. Same with relationships. You got to work on them. And the work is fun because then your rewards, like for the day or the week or the month, hey, we've gotten better at this. Remember when we used to fight about that? We don't anymore. Let's reward ourselves. Come here. Give me a kiss. Relationships.